We're back at Lost Lake, and as in past years, we find that the grazing tenure holder has flooded the area around the Lost Lake area to provide water for cattle. This year's flooding, cattle action, plus road access made possible by removal of barriers by the Grand Forks ATV Club, has turned the area into a bog. Damage included cattle turning the area of signage and the bench installed by the Grand Forks ATV Club into a pocked and hummocked bog.
This fencing of the 6.5 acres owned by Nature Trust is turning out to be a very interesting laboratory experience in what happens when you don't have cows and what happens when you do have cows. This is a rose hip bush here. The tips of these are favorite browse species, a typical browse species that the wildlife ungulates enjoy. You can see where the cow has been able to reach over the fence. It's been absolutely taken right down. And we can see this right behind me. You can look at the choke cherry that is happening. Nature Trust needs to pick up its game and manage this land, and we'll see a lot more of this. If you just look over my shoulder uphill, you can see what happens to blue elderberry when the cow is not allowed to graze it. In the spring, green shoots come up at the base of these shrubs, and the cow knocks the living hell out of them. You can see to my right what's left of one elderberry. Typical what happens when cows are allowed to feed on it. The view here of these blue elderberries is extremely dramatic to what can happen when cows are not present in ungulate winter range. Beside me I've got a stump of a choke cherry. There's small shoots here from Saskatoon. Inside and beside that blue elderberry we have choke cherry and Saskatoon that are now growing. They don't grow as fast as the blue elderberry, but we're starting to see a major transformation of shrubs in this protected area, which all of Nature Trust lands should look like. This panoramic view showcases the green inside the 6.5 acres of Nature Trust land that's been fenced. You can see over my shoulder the rose hips. Some of them did die last winter. They're coming up, they're healthy. You can see the number of wheats, the wheats here, the alyssum. On the other side where the cow is, not only is it everything grass brown, but we got one hell of a lot more weeds. And when you look uphill and see the rose shrubs there, again, dramatic example of why cows have no damn business being a Nature Trust park, which is, by the way, part of their lease agreement with the Fish and Wildlife Branch signed in 1974.
Drone view overheads show the comparisons between protected and cattle grazed areas.
This is a dugout in the Overton Creek watershed. It's just a little bit further east from where we've taken pictures of the marsh and also the Nature Trust property. The water here has been totally destroyed, fouled by the cows. Certainly wildlife which would use this if it was fenced and clean has certainly denied the use of it. And you can see it's the trails, the damage done immediately adjacent. They're living here and their cows are drinking this vile, disgusting water. A classic example of why this range management program in Gilpin must be brought to heel and must change.
This contaminated and festering waterhole in testing for E. coli showed contamination exceeding 13,000 colonies per litre. On the road in, some new barriers put in by Nature Trust to prevent off-roaders, but most of the Nature Trust land remains unprotected from cattle and off-roaders. The damage continues.